Would you believe me if I told you that YouTube as a platform has been around since 1986? Well, I sure hope you didn't, because that was a lie. YouTube was created in February of 2005, which at the time of recording this makes the platform over 20 years old. Now, in this time, YouTube has evolved so much that it's almost unrecognizable from what it used to be. Believe it or not, there was a point on this platform where people would go viral for posting videos of them dancing on a shitty $15 webcam or a video of their cat. But Compare it to nowadays, you have people like Mr. Beast who are spending $4 million per video. I'm not gonna directly ask, but hey, Mr. Beast, you know, my PayPal's always open. In terms of YouTube though, I'm still struggling to figure out how we went from this to this. In order to decipher this CIA cover-up level mystery, we have to go all the way back to the year 2005. This segment of YouTube is what I'm going to be calling the classic era. Between the years 2005 to 2009, YouTube was simply a video sharing site and nothing else. This is so far back that there was no Mr. Beast, there was no Matthew Bean, no Logan Paul. There was no such thing as YouTube drama. Instead, we had things like this.
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants. Cool thing.
What you just watched was a piece of internet history. It was the first ever video uploaded to YouTube. This was a point in time where you simply uploaded videos that you found entertaining, whether it be a cat video or you dancing, or maybe you're in the mood to listen to some guy Mongolian throat sing about hamburger.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper.
As obvious by most of these examples that I'm showing, the videos being posted here were very amateur. While doing research, I found this video uploaded all the way back in 2008, simply titled Club Penguin Free Membership, Not Hack. Now, I know you're gonna have a really hard time believing me when I tell you this, but there was no production team behind this. Either this video was recorded on a flip phone camera, or YouTube just simply couldn't support higher resolutions at the time, but this was posted in 144p. I'm not able to understand a single thing that's going on within this video. I think I'd have a better chance walking into a pyramid and being able to read the hieroglyphics on the wall. And that's a real bummer, because I was looking forward to getting a Club Penguin free membership without using hack. There was no such thing as professional YouTubers back then. Nobody was thinking about the click-through rate, capturing people's attentions with a flashy thumbnail. In fact, you were lucky enough to even gain anything over 100 views on a video. However, there were a few YouTube channels who were able to gain a pretty big amount of popularity, like Smosh, Fred. Smosh was a skit YouTube channel run by Ian Hecox and Anthony Padilla, where they would dance in front of a webcam, and thankfully, the quality on this is much better than the Club Penguin video. This time, at 240p. I don't know too much about Fred, just that he would make skits with this really annoying high-pitched voice. Smosh was gaining such a large audience at the time that they were making it onto local news stations. And obviously, that brought a lot of attention back to YouTube. So this is where we enter the next era. 2010 to 2013 is where YouTube really started to gain more traction as a platform. The music industry would eventually catch wind of this, and we would see more and more musicians upload music videos. You, of course, have your Justin Bieber Baby, which for the longest time held the record as the most disliked video on YouTube. But then I thought about something else, something that hadn't crossed my mind in quite a long time. Whoopin' Gangnam Style was the most popular video on YouTube. It held the record as the most viewed YouTube video for a pretty long time. My parents didn't let me listen to it because they said sexy in it. More and more creators were starting to show up and gain a pretty significant audience. A couple names you might recognize are Ryan Higa. He would make skit videos like How to Be Ninja. Another one is Vanoss Gaming, who... Actually, I'll let you figure out what type of content he makes. PewDiePie would start uploading gaming Let's Play videos, and he would quickly become the most subscribed to YouTuber on the platform. As obvious, YouTube had gone mainstream, and not as many 30-second short videos were going viral. It was a lot more creator-based this time around, and people were starting to see the true potential in what YouTube could become in the future. And those people were pretty correct. I don't know how to transition over, I really don't. 2014 to 2015 is when YouTube officially was cemented as the go-to video sharing platform. It isn't really a place where you can simply get popular by uploading funny cat videos anymore, which is really sad because I wanted to see Go Kitty Go too. In order to become successful and have an audience, you almost have to be a designated creator of some sort, or you have to be a musician. This is around the time in my life where I started watching YouTube. I was watching gaming creators and they became pretty well known. Being a YouTuber is now considered a real job, and some people would get so famous that they would end up going on live TV. It was almost like a fun little crossover episode of some sorts. A really fucking awkward crossover episode. Now, if there's anything that I learned, it's that I don't think traditional TV media and the internet really mix too well. Whenever a YouTuber would go on a talk show or something, it would just create this really weird, awkward vibe. When I was 10, I was probably one of the most socially inept people ever. I'm talking, I would fart in public like no shame. Now, when I was watching TV, even I was able to sense that there was some sort of weird awkwardness. It's really hard to describe, which is exactly why I'm not gonna describe it. Minecraft is also at its peak here. You have creators like Stampy, Captain Sparkles, and my beloved Dan TDM. Real quick, I have no idea how or why, but this motherfucker used to upload once, even twice a day for years. So thank you, Dan. Thank you for the immense amount of service that you gave to us Minecraft lovers. Honestly, it wasn't even just Minecraft. I'd say all gaming creators were at their peak here. Jacksepticeye was gaining tons of popularity. Markiplier was getting millions of views by playing a small horror game you may have heard of. It started to get some attention. It had animatronics. Really hot animatronics. It's probably a little too niche for you, I don't know. This is the time where I started to watch creators like Jaden Animation, The Odd Ones Out, and of course, Brewstew. I want to give a special thanks to them because they're the ones that really made animation on YouTube popular in the first place. If it weren't for these people, I'm not sure any stickman or animation YouTubers would really be as popular as they are today. Genuinely, these three were some of my biggest inspirations growing up, and they made me want to become a YouTuber. So thanks, guys. Anyways, moving on. 2016 to 2017 is what many people consider to be one of the best eras of YouTube. Maybe it's just purely nostalgia bias, but I kind of agree with this sentiment. A whole new wave of creators blew up this year. Gameplay commentary YouTube was really starting to become its own thing. It's as simple as turning on a game of Call of Duty or Counter-Strike Surf and then just proceeding to talk about as much as you possibly can for the next 8.5 minutes, and that's about it. Pyrocynical was a pretty popular commentary creator. You know, you also had Memulous, and I love these two. I used to watch them all the time. But there was one creator, one beast who just could not be tamed, and that was Leafy Is Here. This motherfucker Leafy was at the time one of the most ruthless commentary creators. However, there was another creator who was well known for making hit pieces on people and ending their careers. This is all sarcasm, by the way. It's the fucking internet. From the depths of online came the beast, the gnome Keemstar. Now, when I was like 11 years old, I thought that Leafy and Keemstar arguing on a podcast was the funniest shit ever. But now, when I think about it 9 years later and look back, dude, it was two grown men arguing on the internet. Are we fucking serious?
Because you sit there in your stupid fucking podcast and you fucking regurgitate your shit.
That was one side of the edgy YouTube spectrum. But then there was the other side with creators like iDubbbz, Max Mofo, and my personal favorite, Filthy Frank. Admittedly, the type of content they would post was kind of lowbrow humor. It was edgy and offensive shock humor for the sake of being edgy and offensive. When making this video, I did think to myself, was iDubbbz really that offensive? I mean, maybe we're just remembering it all wrong. And then I went back and watched the Tana Mojo video and countless bad unboxings. I legitimately do not think that I can play any of the clips. I think it would get my channel taken down. Filthy Frank was my favorite, and at least once a year, I sit back and I just go through all of the old videos again. The older I get, the more I realize that this entire Filthy Frank universe was very well a character and nothing more. In Filthy Frank's channel description, it literally says that Frank himself is a character. Pink Guy is another character within the Frank cinematic universe, and he ended up making music, which somehow ended up on the charts. Of course, gaming YouTube is still alive, animation is still going strong, and it just seems that YouTube is just at the top of its game. Little did we know the change that was right over the horizon. The adpocalypse is truly one of the hardest moments in YouTube history. Edgy commentary was really killed off during this time, and that's because you weren't able to make money off of it anymore. You see, before, you could say like that. However, the corporate overlords above ended up finding out the type of stuff that was being posted on YouTube and eventually pulled all advertisements from the website. This led YouTube to create the dreaded demonetization. iDubbbz ended his infamous Content Cop series. Filthy Frank eventually left YouTube to go start a music career, and Leafy ended up leaving YouTube entirely. When demonetization eventually became normal, the edgy era was completely done. 2018 to 2019 was relatively uninteresting. It was rather basic. To the few edgy era creators who didn't yet leave YouTube, they were still trying to find their groove and navigate around the new monetization policies that were in place. There was a new community of Instagram vloggers who became super popular around this time. To name a few, you have David Dobrik, James Charles, Shane Dawson. I forgot to mention Rice Gum, who would just flaunt his money and his LA mansions. And who could forget our favorite sibling duo Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Logan, I actually still remember when the infamous Logan Forest video was posted on YouTube. It was on the YouTube trending page. I'm not gonna lie, this era of YouTube was pretty bland though. And that takes us from 2019 to present day. Honestly, not much has changed. Monetization has gotten a little bit stricter. Mr. Beast has become the biggest YouTuber on the entire platform, and shorts were introduced as a way to compete with TikTok, and they were very successful in doing so. And that's really all I have to say about YouTube. Subscribe, like the video, and yeah, thank you. Bye.
Moon, tell me if I could send up my heart to you.